New York, New York. Hello, everybody, and well. That after only going to let me host for the first time. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Man United Agenda reaction show for Manchester United versus Everton. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Manchester United Agenda. Tonight, I'd just like to introduce my fantastic panel. Right beside me, I have the legendary, the man is so sweet, he's almost confectionery.
I thought you was gonna say OMONDI. I thought you was gonna bypass me. Thanks.
You're here to back me up tonight, Mr. B. I couldn't let you down.
Checks in the post, Ralph. Checks in the post.
And with us tonight, we have CALLULA. Don't let that smile fool you. He shoots from the hip. It's CALLULA Cal.
Wow.
Now, we also have our Aussie Yip Yap Stam wearing the Stevie Wonder glasses, and isn't he lovely? It's Mark Evan.
Good one.
Wow. That's got to be one of the most beautiful introductions that ever was.
We've got the birthday boy. We've got the lion heart of the agenda. Big man OMONDI Juma. Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
You got off lightly because it's your birthday this week.
Oh, thank you.
Now, after that introduction, I would like to see and ask, how's everybody's nerves tonight? Because mine are still a little bit shot. I know everybody feels a little bit differently, but how are you feeling? I'd like to start with you, Mr. B. What do you think of how are your nerves tonight? And we'll start with Everton's performance after you let me know how your nerves are.
My nerves are fine. I wasn't under-ended. The goal they scored, we said I know we'll have that discussion. We're in say total control of the game, but Everton are a dead football team, man. 2-1, yeah, nervous. I wasn't nervous. Once we went 2-1 up, I knew we were going to win. I knew there wasn't an issue. Yes, when they scored, the goal that we thought they scored, it came up on the chat earlier. Then we watched it and said we called it offside early. So no, all in all, no problem at all. And as for Everton, they are shit. So now, it was never an issue for me.
One thing about cup games that always gets to me is that every dog can have his day, regardless of form. Now, OMONDI, how did you feel Everton were tonight with their setup? Do you have a couple of individuals that were standout for me? Was there anybody in particular that was a shining light for you tonight?
You look at Everton, they're in a relegation zone or fighting for relegation. Really poor at the moment. Lampard, he met the board last week. They had a really good result against Man City in the Premiership last week. So you have to give them a lot of credit. So there's a lot of fighting spirit. And I think today they showed a lot of fighting spirit on the pitch. Players, talking about stand-up players for me, I thought Damari Gray is a sort of an enigma for me because he's got all the talent in the world, but he went after Leverkusen from Leicester. He was from Birmingham. He's a Birmingham boy originally. And I've always kept my eye on him. He's in the under-21 setup for England. Really talented player, can drive past players, goes past players, as we saw when he for the disallowed goal as well. He's just twinkle toes. But I worry about him because he's inconsistent. I think we spoke about it in the group chat. And I do like Onana. Casemiro's welcome to the Premier League when we played him early in the season. Onana was munching him like Pac-Man. Really gave him a good introduction to the league with that physicality. He gets about the pitch as well. And they got Gay back as well from Paris Saint-Germain, former Everton player as well. So you can see what they're trying to build there, with a nice, strong foundation. And with Godfrey, who's a bit of a dog, he's a bit of a wind-up merchant as well, but he's a hard man. And they got the Scouser guy from Wolves, Cody, come back in. You can see they've got a good foundation there. But beyond that, we talk about talent and being able to beat teams. They're not ready to beat Man United. I was comfortable, just like Mr. B was saying, throughout the whole game. I had no issues. I thought I always gauge it. Are they pressing us? No. They're sitting back. They're trying to reserve us. Are they breaking us down? No, they're not. They might get the odd opportunity when the ball breaks free or something. But I wasn't concerned at all. I felt at halftime we're in control, and I didn't think Everton posed much of a threat.
So, CALLULA, I'd like to come to you. And there's one player individual that springs to mind. He had his shooting boots on tonight. I didn't tell who that was.
I'd say Connor, Magnificent Cody for me. It was one for them and one for us. That's a team player right there. That was magnificent because I feel Pickford, because his positioning, you would have thought we paid him off because it was just going direct. That was the most on-target thing about tonight. I was just looking at you magnificent beast, you. He's probably thinking, Everton's rubbish. But if I do this, they might sign me. Just waving at Ten Hag. Hi, look at me. I helped. But no, my nerves were shot because I know how much Everton, that was their chance to. We're Man United, and we've got to remember some teams will just go at us. And the reason why I was so nervous was De Gea, and I was just staring what I was. You got fucking fine. I'm having a heart attack. Because sometimes it was they had a deep defense, they had a blue wall, and then sometimes the guy with De Gea was you know what, I'm going for a Costa coffee. De Gea, what are you doing? De Gea, get back. I'd have been, as a manager, I'd have been staring, I would have death staring De Gea, half time I'm gonna get you. And then full time I'm gonna get you again. So I was nervous.
All I can say about that now, CALLULA, is it's the only time I've ever looked at live score and I've seen the same player with 2 balls beside his name for both teams, and it's worked in the favour of us tonight. Now, Mark, there was a couple of Everton players that were in there in the mix deliberately just to stick it into United. One of them was Onana and one of them was Goffrey, but it ended up backfiring on Goffrey because he happened to push one of our lads over at the end of the game, which backfired on him. What did you make of Goffrey and Onana, especially the fact that Onana looks like he'd run through a brick wall to get the ball?
Oh, I thought Onana was really solid. I thought he caught Casemiro and our team a little mentally tired, which gave him a bit more time to do his thing. I think Godfrey was really on the back foot. Right in the opening minute, Marcus tested him on the outside for pace, and he was found a long way short. Something I think Anthony should take a page out of Marcus's book and test his fullback on the outside earlier in the game and, get him to sit off him a few yards so he can use his trickery. Marcus certainly did do that. And then when Garnacho came on, I think he'd had enough. Poor old Godfrey. He was praying for full time because he was done, and that penalty, it was coming all day. I thought that Godfrey, it's really tough to say he had a shocker. He didn't. He actually played quite well. He's a decent player. He made some great tackles, but he was out of his depth. He really was. He was getting cooked,
So, lads, we've toured in, lads and lassie, should I say, we've toured in the chat tonight. I'd like to get your views in the comments. Let me know what you think. We're going to get a word from our sponsor now, from OMONDI Juma, and he's going to read out a few of our comments.
Okay, as you know, we're sponsored by GMS. It's Global Mapping Surveys, and they assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. And check out the link in the descriptions, guys. That's GMS Global Mapping Surveys. So I'm going to read out a few comments now here, guys. We've got Kay Slater, back again, 23. Evening, everyone. I hope everyone is well, she said. Big up to Talk MU. He just done the watch long with big man, Mr. Big. It's not Mr. B isn't for big, but he's big to me. He's older and wiser than me. So it's Mr. B. Great result. He said, bitty performance, but we were winning games and it makes us happy. Do you know what bitty means in London? Talk MU. Big G saying, boy, you want to say hi to Paddy Silk? We all know Paddy. How you doing, Paddy? Welcome. He's saying Keane spot on the money, playing short centre back. See if he got found out tonight. Solo saying here, let's talk about Fred. He came on, obviously. Big G saying, awaiting Paddy's response, Solo. Adil Ahmed, how you doing, man? That's a W for a win for us. So we're really delighted with that. Big up to Adil. We'll give him a wave. Column in the house, how you saying? What you saying, man? He says, this shows that we are progressing. Last season, we would have lost that game. Rebels saying, Monday, what you doing Tuesday? You need a target man up top. Big G saying, happy 65th birthday to Monday. Enjoy your retirement, fella. Thank you very much. Stumpy Candles top saying, my nerves were shredded. So just like CALLULA and Pat in the same boat there. Rebel again saying, what's the crack, Big G? What question did you ask Paddy that they're going off? Zoe Media House, how you doing? Stuck in birthday. Everything was easy, he's saying. And Eddie saying, big up Man United agenda, hit the like button. Just a couple more here. Matthew Bassett saying here, good result, but Everton pushed us all the way, he's saying. And De Gea can't do it in the next 2 games. I'm sure we'll be reminded who we're playing in the next 2 games. Rebel saying, Man United winning under Ten Hag. This is the way. The code of the Mandalorian is
the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Sorry,
Sorry. What the hell is that?
Mr. B, I am going to educate you
over here on our own.
No, Mr. B, I'm going to have to travel down and make you watch all the Star Wars, all the geek stuff. Get your
later. It's all right. Now I know what it is. Fuck that. No. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and
the Jedi.
The first one. I don't need the rest. Don't need the rest of them.
Now, Mr. B, I'm going to turn up with my lightsaber, my Mace Windu lightsaber, in my outfit, and we're going to go Return of the Jedi.
Oh Lord!
It's funny you should bring up science fiction because every time I see Paddy's comments, especially at the start of a game, it's like Marvin the Paranoid Android. Oh, Rashford's not good enough.
Oh no!
Ball's get left back. Oh, I love the way you go about it, buddy. You're a classic.
If he dies, he dies.
Oh,
okay. So look, we're going to move on to the Manchester United performance, okay? And what I'd like to start with the Marcus Rashford goal after 4 minutes, okay? So Mark, I finished with you last time. Oh, sorry, Anthony goal. I finished with Mark the last time, so I'm going to go to you now, Mark, first of all, and get your opinion on the Anthony goal after 4 minutes. And I should not be doing this considering, just to let everybody else know, you were only out of bed 4 minutes when you saw this goal.
Look, no, thanks, mate. And I appreciate you going to me, Mr. Host. I thought Anthony Martial started the game quite brightly. He really took care of the ball for the first goal. He rode the challenge. He held it up, and he just put that pass out to Marcus beautifully, who squared it, the far post. It was a beautiful goal. Anthony buried it, caught Everton napping early, and I thought we're gonna get a cricket score today. Unfortunately, though, Martial sort of faded quite quickly, I thought. But yeah, beautiful goal, and not a lot more to say about it than that. I think Ten Hag got his setup right. His team choice was correct going into the game. He knew correctly, guessed that Everton were going to set up a low block, and they didn't have a striker. So he went for ball playing centre-backs with Shaw. But anyway, yeah, great goal.
So after 13 minutes, unfortunately, what we were starting on a high turned out to be the effect of an FA Cup game. Now, Mr. B, I'm going to go to yourself because you were on the watch-along. What happened to Tyrell Malacia with Onana for Connie Cody to get a cross in what turned out to be his first goal?
I have absolutely no idea.
Did he spin him? Did he use a bit of skill?
What is that? Sorry, do you know what? You see, when I watch the games, it goes in, and it's worse on the watch along because. So you're asking me to describe something. I remember I see his foul. Was it Malacia who got foul?
Yeah, the ball was on the outside of the box, and as it came into the box, it was coming towards Malacia, and it was like what it looked like to me was Onana used his body weight to turn Malacia and turn the ball and get it to Conor Cody's feet. But I wasn't too sure myself whether it looked like
it was a foul. No,
was it a foul?
It was a foul. The ref didn't give it, but there was I think there was a lot that the ref didn't give today. To be fair, I think he let. I know, it's a man's game and blah, but some of the tackles that kind of went in today, I just thought, they were a bit sharp, man. But I'm going to be honest, I don't remember the goal.
I can help you out there.
Well, I can tell you one thing. There's one panelist now who I'm dying to get her opinion. You can guess who that is because she has plenty to say about David De Gea on Conor Cody's.
Oh shit! Sorry. I know the goal now. Sorry. Do you know what? See, and this is why you see on the Friday. Sorry. It's hard for me on a Friday, innit? Allow me. I've had a heavy week. I've had a heavy day. I had the watch on. It wasn't his fault.
What?
It wasn't his fault. Listen, right? Just hear me out for one minute. 1 minute.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
He's
Kulu, deep breaths.
he's covered the near post. He can't stand up with his feet together because then he'll just tip over. So he stood up with his legs apart and he's covering the near post. The ball has ricocheted. It's gone 3 times through his leg, boop, 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 like a little pinball, and gone in. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming De Gea. And this is my logic, right? Before anybody, I'm 5'5", I know. I've had to play in goal this season and last season, and that's happened to me 4 times. And
now we understand. Now we understand.
So I'm not blaming De Gea for shit. I'm sorry, I'm not. His legs were set. He covered the post, and he was unlucky.
Right, that's one side of the coin. Kalula, and you tell us how
So
you're
what I
fronting
wanna
the lifestyle
say-
of your father watching it.
For Mr. B, I'm going to say Mr. B's trying to do the Chewbacca defense on me at the moment because that is not happening. De Gea, it was a mistake, yes, but it was when he looked up like there was a ball. Where was the ball? You're a goalkeeper. You don't know where the ball is. And he was just standing there. Like, he's not, I don't even know if he remembers he's a goalkeeper today, actually, because he was out. Where was he running in the second half as well? Just going there, let's just leave the goal open. I'm gonna be a defender today. There was something mind-warped about him, and so not a chance. De Gea was completely at fault. He wasn't on it today. If Everton were a better team, they could have kicked our ass because of De Gea, because he was leaving the goal open. He wasn't looking right. Wow. He wants to run around. I honestly think De Gea really let us down. Now, obviously, I've got to go back to that De Gea has given us a great service, but this is the first match I've said to myself, we need to start concentrating on getting keepers because he's been with us a long time and maybe his head's going because the decision-making there was wrong.
Okay.
Oh,
harsh words from Kalula. So,
sorry, Pat. Can I just
Go ahead,
say,
Mark.
I want to back up my bestie from Birmingham over here. I got to say, that was shocking. Like, that man has been posterized. He's a meme going viral. Like, he's lucky we won. That was an absolute, piece of. He was asleep, mate. I got up at 6 a.m. to watch the game. I think he must have been getting up at 6 a.m. as well. He was asleep. Like, that was inexcusable. I was fuming. So, yeah, I'm with Kallula on that one.
okay. So what happened next after that was from one goalkeeper making an error to one goalkeeper making himself out to look like Peter Schmeichel. Christian Eriksen plays the ball down the left-hand side of the pitch to Marcus Rashford, into Martial, and Pickford comes out like the Great Dane to save the ball from Martial. Now, Omondi Juma, do you rate this Pickford lad, or do you think he pulls off the 1 or 2 worldies that makes him look good, and he's just not as good as he's made out to be, or does he have it in his locker?
Look, he's a good goalkeeper. He's England's number 1, and I think I'm not qualified to sort of be a selector for England because they picked Harry Maguire, and I agree with that. So I'm not going to go around now and say Pickford's not good enough because I think he is good.
Boo!
Granted. So the reason I think Pickford's a good keeper, he's got personality. He communicates as well, and you can see he's a leader of men of his defence as well. So he's not afraid to give it to them. We love Schmeichel for that, and that's what you like to see from your goalkeepers because they see everything and he sees the whole game. Also, as well, he's got a lot of attributes. Compare him to Joe Hart, who was a former England number 1 as well. Joe Hart can't kick the ball for love or money, so Pep got rid of him. But so he brought in a keeper who can do that job, and so we got Ramsdale and Pickford as well, 2 guys English keepers who can kick really well and distribute the ball. And today I saw the difference between him and De Gea in that respect. De Gea was struggling to reach his target, playing more than 10, 15 yards. Bit nerve-wracking for him. And as Kalulu said earlier about him coming out of the box a couple of times, trying to do something, he either comes naturally or it doesn't. I think Pickford's a bit of a natural. You saw what he did to Virgil van Dijk. He's not afraid to come out, cut a man, and thing like that, because they know as goalkeepers, you usually get the advantage from the referee when you go out. It's always traditionally been like that. So I think Pickford is a good goalkeeper. If you look at the Euros a couple of years ago, he made some really good saves, taking us to the finals. And he's been number 1 in the World Cup just recently, and I can't really fault him for any really major goals. When you compare it to De Gea today, as Kalula was saying, ripping him, I'm really struck by you, Kalula. You ripped him in that little speech there.
He shoots from the hip.
Pickford is a decent goalkeeper. It's just he plays for Everton. They're down the bottom. But so did Henderson, played for Sheffield United. They were down the bottom. And so did there's Ramsdale. He played for Sheffield United. They're down the bottom. So I think you can judge a keeper not just by playing for relegated sides, that kind of thing. Back there, what they do. Can he distribute? Yes, he can. Can he make good saves? Yes. It's good communication? Yes. As short as he is, he does command the box. He comes out. And I think he's a big presence and a big personality. That's what you need in a keeper. He's not the best, mind you. I don't want him for Man United, but I have to give him his props.
Nice, Amandi. So, Mr. B, I'm going to come to you now because I'm going to speak about your boy Rashford. The 31st minute, he picks the ball up in his own half, runs the length of the pitch, and kicks the ball. And the ball moved towards Pickford like it was one of them orange cup champion balls you get out of the shop when you were a kid. It went up and down, and it was a nightmare for Pickford. Now, what did you make of Rashford in the first half? I thought he was excellent.
Well, if you know me, man, right now, Rashford just makes me happy, man. The England games running the World Cup, when Rashford didn't play, I had no interest. When he was on, I was interested. Right now, Rashford is bringing joy to my heart, man. Everything he's doing, he's slowing up defenders, he's speeding up defenders. He's playing on the right, he's scoring. He's playing on the left, he's scoring. And he's scoring headers. So Rashford, I think his form has continued from what he's been doing throughout the whole of this season, to be fair, the whole season. And yeah, first half, he was fine. One of our better players again.
I tell you, much agree. And that's the reason why I went for you, because I've always been fully a part of that team, Rashford.
I agree too. He's improved, he's exceptional. And that's why I like that he does this, because he's finally using his head. And that's what he needs to do.
He is. Now, in fairness, he's smashing it. Amanda, if you got a word of wisdom to say about Rashford, or are you gritting your teeth?
Look, I don't want to be sound like Paddy Sykes and Victor Mergio and all that kind of thing. I appreciate good football. I think I've said it all along, all season, so I'm not dissing him. I did call him Rashford last season. This season, as CALLULA's saying about the mind thing, he is making the right decisions. His decision making has improved. But today, there's a lot of occasions where I felt he could have popped the ball out. You got people making overlapping runs for him. He should have laid people in. A couple of times he's doing the same thing like last season, running into traffic and giving the ball away. Granted, it works, but you can't have that percentage kind of thing. You got to pop the ball off. I'd like to see a combination of him, Sancho, and Garnacho all in one, because Sancho's got the decision making. He can look. That's what he looks for. He looks for little 1-2s, give and goes, that kind of thing. Anthony's got the skill and can gets the respect where people back off him eventually. And then Garnacho's got the running ability of Rashford as well. Rashford needs to incorporate some of these attributes from these guys to become a better player. I was saying in the group chat earlier, I think he'd be twice the player he is at the moment if his decision maker was better. And times like now, you've got to be a killer. You've got to be consistent with it over and over again. And I just feel that he gives the ball away a bit too much, ran into decision making again, as you're saying. It's all right doing that, yeah, because he's done well this season. But today, especially, I was saying, nah, it's not good enough. And I'm not putting a downer on it. I'm just giving my observation. I think Rashford needs to still work on his decision making, slow it down, and just pop the ball off. Give it, and when I say pop it off, I don't think he's got that ability to play a nice weighted pass to people like some other players. You know, he needs to work on it still. And I think these are things that, like, if you're talking about gaining more pace, like Sancho, he needs to get quicker. You can't do that because that's a physical thing. It's really hard to do. But when you talk about decision making, these are things you can do, you can improve on. And I think there's a ceiling for him that he hasn't quite reached yet. So it's a confidence thing for me. I think I'm giving him credit. But I just feel that sometimes you have to give people a slap in the face and say you need to improve just to get the best out of them.
So we'd be in agreement that he's improving, Amanda.
He's improved this season, most certainly. He's reached that level that we've seen before, and he's scoring a lot of our goals, and he's becoming a senior player. But I still think there's a lot of potential. There's more in his locker, mental-wise, what he needs to improve on, which will make him a better player. That's my point.
Well, while we're talking about senior players, just before we wrap up the first half and head into the comments to get everybody's opinions, Mr. Redmond, I want to ask you about two silky senior players. We have Varane and Christian Eriksen. Varane was out on the right-hand side of the pitch. I thought he was going to do a Cruyff turn at one stage, trying to cross the ball in. And then we had Christian Eriksen taking a shot from outside the box, only for it went over the bar by a couple of inches. Pickford was grounded on his feet and was never going to get near it. Now, what did you make of these two men tonight, and what would we do without them at the moment?
Well, I thought that in the first half, Eriksen was the best player on the pitch. He was really stroking it around. And I have to say about Varane, he was fantastic. He was really calming, influence, everything you'd want from a defender. He really is an incredible player, as his record shows. When he skipped past the fullback, whose name eludes me at the moment, he did what I was hoping Anthony would do in the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game. He was showing him, this is how you do it. This is just keeping it simple, wonderful wing play. You know, skipped by the fullback and put it in there. He's got a bit of it all. He's a real Rolls Royce. Much like, and using the car analogy, and I'm sorry to do this to you on your birthday, Omondi, but much like Marcus Rashford, who's a Ferrari. And he was imperious tonight. I thought he was the best player on the ground. I'm going to jump straight into that. And what are you talking about, mate? That Pickford guy is like a T-Rex that got shrunk in the wash. He's nothing. I wouldn't let him polish my boots.
Well, thank God you said that, because he was linked to us during the week. I don't know who linked him to us. It could have been himself, but thank God it was only for one day. So, Omondi, 19 in the chat. Would you mind reading out a few of the comments, please?
Most certainly, yeah. So obviously we've been talking about a few topics here with regards to the goalkeeper and Rashford as well. So Richard Herbert's here as well. Can we just give him a wave? Richard is the brother of Anthony Herbert, but Richard's actually a Man United fan, so that's why he's our favourite. He says, hello, boys, I'm back. I'm United. And United are on. Come on, boys, great time. Well, I also want to say hi to Chris Moss, Times Sport. Go and check him out. He's saying, what's up, Jet Rebel and the Man United Agenda, boys? Big up to you. He said, good win. Everton looking bad, though. Zoe's saying here about Rashford, said Rashford, Haaland and Tony, the deadliest three strikers in the Premier League. She didn't say strikers, but deadliest three. And Emma's saying here the ref was so bad, either blowing his whistle or not blowing enough. Miss Big G is here saying Mr. B having a Chris Kamara moment. Unbelievable, Jeff. Wanted to send my best wishes out to Chris Kamara because he's really not well at the moment. He's got some deteriorating disease or something. He's not the same. Matthew Bassett saying, we touched on that. Luke Shaw, never centre back, says the ever so positive Paddy. I want to say hi to to Miss Melina. She says, shout out to the panel in the chat room. As you know, Miss Melina's an Arsenal fan, but she's one of us. She's one of our own. She's been here from day one, and we've got a lot of love and respect for you, Melina. I hope you're doing well, and we're catching you slowly. 9 points, girl. Big G saying, Butland's a decent keeper, to be fair, underrated in his opinion. Obviously, we know Butland's come to the club now. And Chris is saying here, hello, Melina, warming up out west. Hope you're going. Happy New Year and all that kind of thing. Nice, lovely greetings. Couple here from Paddy. What happened to Rashford? If he is injured, who replaces him? Martial, the useless clown? No way. And he's also saying here,
Paddy, please, blood.
It's not over. It's not over. Wait, one more from Paddy. He said, Paddy saying, Maguire coming on tonight as per usual, giving the ball away tonight. Get rid of Villa ASAP so I can laugh at him and Ming's comedy duo. Here we go. I want to say hi to can someone help me out with his pronunciation?
Gal Tisnado.
Thank you very much. And can you, I don't know what language it is.
Mr. Edmund.
Putos. That's a swear word, I believe. But present. I don't know. But big up to you, Gal. Lovely to have you on the channel. We've got Miss Melina here. This one's for you. Oh, Mr. B and Omondi. Happy is dangerous for the league. United are going under the radar since the World Cup. Rashford has been on fire. That's lovely, positive comments there. Paddy again saying Sancho never turned up since leaving Dortmund. Zoe saying, would you say Marcus Rashford is the best black player ever? Oh, Calais just died, isn't he? 14 is saying, how about Maguire giving the ball away every minute? He came on, Omondi, go at him, Rash. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we can see if there's anyone else coming in. Okay, there you go. That's enough for now. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so guys, we're going to move on to the second half. In fairness, the second half finished as well as the first half ended. So Alex Iwobi got a chance to come down the center of the pitch, and Torre Malacia came down there like a bullet with an excellent challenge, but unfortunately poor Iwobi's foot got stuck in the ground and he had to go off injured. So Callula, I'll come to yourself. Torgan Malacia, is he warranting his position in the left back, or is Luke Shaw doing too well for when the eventuality of Martinez comes back as the main left-sided centre back?
KFC Shaw has improved greatly, so much. The stature of him, he doesn't get bullied off the ball. He's got his accuracy up as well. And what I will say is that unfortunately, I just feel like, I'll be honest with you, the quote that I said and my dad both agreed, the youngling needs to get more experience. And I think we need to loan him out. I think he needs to go to another team where he can get the play time and decide, because like the certain things he did today, that it was, the passing was off, the thinking process was off. I was a little bit disappointed actually, because I want him to do well, but it just, I would have taken him off sooner. And that's how I felt. And it's hard Finarino's against once from me.
You would have took Malacia off?
Yeah, I would have. He made too many mistakes today. And I just don't feel like he was in the right headspace and the right decision making. I really don't.
Do you think he's just not familiar enough with the kind of the nerves and the build up to the FA Cup, and how, like, you could see the referee was struggling with the game because some of the challenges he wasn't giving him, and some of them he was, and we all know that Malacia likes to get stuck into a challenge. Yeah. So
I do feel that he did have a lot of pressure on him. I know I'm being really harsh, but at the moment we've got to be harsh at United, because we're in an opportunity that we didn't know we were going to be in 12 months ago. So there's nothing wrong with him either playing. Like, I think we should loan him. I think he needs to get the experience, because today he that's what he lacked in. It was the same thing we said about Rashford, and that's why I agree with OMONDI. Talent, but you got to think.
That's a fair point.
Sorry, you're saying loan out Malacia?
Yeah. So you can get experience. As I say, I don't think it was the right buy, because I don't think that he's come to United and he's got the brain. I think he's got the talent, and I can see the speed, the acceleration. I can see that he's got the attitude, but I just don't think he thinks enough.
Do you know what? I'm going to disagree with you completely. I think Malacia has got the dog fight in him. Like, that's what I love about all the Ten Hag signings. Every one of them is a fighter, and they have changed the whole DNA of the team. You've got Martinez, Malacia, Casemiro. Of course, Casemiro. He's a gift from God. Like, every one of them's got dog in them, and I love that. The one thing I love about a player is they have to want to fight for the shirt. They have to want to be here in, like, you know, I mean, what do I know? But here in Australia, there's no room for what I call like weakness, like in sport, and we've been weak for a few years, and I know you're right. I don't disagree with your take that he's 50-50, and so is Anthony, to be honest. It's 50% good, 50% bad, and your take is right. Like, your analysis is solid, but I think we've got to stick with both of them, because they've both got that fight. They're both showing something that we really need, and I can tell you, by every minute we put into those two guys, we'll be reaping when we really challenge in the next year or two. That's my take. We back them.
I would tend to disagree with you, CALLULA, only for the reason that I think Brandon Williams would be better suited to go out on loan, because he's getting less time.
I don't think he should have come back. I don't think he should have come back.
No, when Malacia came in, Mr. B, it was very difficult for Brandon Williams to stay. Like, he's never going to work his way in there when you have Malacia. Like, when Malacia first came to the squad, regardless of his inexperience, you could see the way he was communicating to Eric Ten Hag on the sideline that this fella has got the knowledge, he has got the brains to play. Now, but he has one thing I will say, to agree with you to a certain extent, CALLULA, is that he's coming here knowing that he's a number two. I don't think he's coming here for one instance knowing that he's going to be the number one, but he's going to come in here and fight for the number one spot. That's for sure. So what do you think, OMONDI?
Yeah, I was watching Malacia today, because obviously he's been playing a lot recently. I think it's good to get him game time by putting Luke Shaw at centre back and him playing at left back. Because as people were saying, at the start of the season, like looking like a really good player, and people were actually saying he's better than Shaw at that time. Obviously Shaw's stepped up now. You can see the quality of Shaw. He's a really, really talented player, and I think we sometimes sort of underestimate him and just think, Shaw, he broke his leg, he's not very good, he puts on weight, KFC Shaw, CALLULA, and all these sort of jokes that we make about him. But he's a really quality player. But talking about Malacia, so I noticed what he's doing very well, as Pat was just saying there, regarding the system. So when we had the ball today, he was cutting into midfield, playing in inverted midfield position and playing almost central. And you can see he's thinking all the time. He's like peeling off when, regarding the play, he's watching the play, he's peeling off to get himself in position. And often, because he's a fullback, people look at him and bypass him a lot of the time because they think, he shouldn't be in that position. But he's got the confidence to be there and do it comfortably. And I think he does that centre midfield role. It's not centre midfield role, but inverted centre midfield role better than Shaw does, because Shaw's not used to that. Shaw, we're used to him raiding, typical style, raiding down the left and doing an overlap rather than the underlap and an inverted sort of position. So I think in that respect, he's very good. He's good at one-on-ones as well. Granted, when we played up until Arsenal, their wingers are really tough to manage, and he struggled a bit with Saka. That's the first time I said, okay, but keep going, and he's not going to give up. This is the thing I like about him. What Mark was saying about the Aussie mentality, things like that will really sort of put you on a downer with the fans if you give up or if you don't show courage. So I think he shows a lot of that. So I really do respect him. When you got someone in the change like that, he's going to go into a challenge, clap. He's not going to back out. As you saw, I don't think it was a dangerous challenge on the poor guy Iwobi. It was just unfortunate the way he did. But he got back, and you can see he was running back, and he was, oh my God, I'm not getting there. And he had to put a second effort in to keep running, keep going. And he timed that to perfection. I like Malacia. I think he's, like you said, he's number 2, but he's a good number 2 for us. And all he can do is just keep improving. And it's someone, if you got someone injured there, it's someone I would be thankful for him to come in and take that role. We were talking about Telles last season, weren't we? Well, Telles was a very talented player. He got a lot of knocks by fans and that kind of thing. But Malacia as well, I think there's a lot of positives there, more positives than negatives.
Now, well said. Now, guys, we're 22 in the chat, so make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, please. So we're going to get on to the second goal for Manchester United now. So unfortunately, my fellow Irishman, Seamus Coleman, is going to be having cold sweats in his sleep tonight over the quick feet of Marcus Rashford. Mark Edmonds, tell me all about it, and what did you think of the goal? The poor man was planted in the ground, and he's probably still standing there now.
Mate, I've been up for 4 hours. The second goal, I'm pulling a Mr. B. All I can think about is what the hell happened?
Marcus Rashford bombed down the left. He had 2 touches with quick feet, and he went across the ball to Connor Cody. And Connor Cody very thankfully assisted the ball into the net.
Oh, yeah. Right. Connor Cody.
Now I've got it going.
He was sitting way too deep the whole game. And Marcus Rashford was once again giving Godfrey nightmares down the left. He knew he had him beat for pace from the first couple of minutes. He went round him and he just fired it in there. And Cody, much like Everton had been all night, I've got to be honest, they were paper thin at the back in my estimation. They needed 5. And it didn't help. He panicked. He didn't know what was behind him. And he literally finished the goal like their strikers couldn't really manage to do it the other end, in fairness. He probably should have done a lot better, Cody. He definitely won't be enjoying that one. Wasn't as bad as David De Gea's posterization of himself up the other end. Thank God we won, because that would have been going global. But it was not great. It wasn't one of his better moments.
So, CALLULA, I'm going to go to you first now before I miss that big, because I know the 2 years are itching to talk about this.
You know what got me? I really felt for Pickford. Because Pickford was looking around like, all I can see is blue. The ball's going out. Why did you stick your foot out towards the goal? Why? That is when you don't need... who needs friends? When he must have been staring at him like, but why? I could see it on his face. It's like, guys, come on. What have you just done to me? There was no red player there. Rashford did do bombardment, which I liked. He used his acceleration, and they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do with him because he just shut down there quicker than grease lightning. And he just passed the ball in, and Cody was like, yeah, I want to get signed by Man United. This is my chance. This is my chance. My team's doing rubbish. I don't even like Lampard, but if I put my little pinky toe out, I can get this in. But I just felt for Pickford. Even I was, Pickford, man, what have you got to do? What have you got to do to stop this? Your own team turned against you.
Mr. P, what did you make of your boy Rashford's dancing feet? Is he getting better? Is he getting better or what?
I just think the confidence that he's got now. I mean, he was doing those things last season, and the ball was going out of play. So it's confidence. It's the variation now in his shots and what he's not. All right, he still does fly down the wing, but for the goal, he stopped him. He stopped the player. He started him, stopped him, and started him again. The player had no chance. Rashford already knew in his head when he got into that position what he was going to do with his feet. The defender didn't know. Yeah, Coleman was unlucky, and I'm so glad he was in that position to score the own goal. I mean, it would have been a better goal, obviously, if a United player had scored it. But at the same time, you can't take away what Rashford did to the defender. And one-on-one at the moment, that's what you want. You want to face up your player, and you want your forward or your mid to do him. You want him to do him. We're looking at Rashford. I'm on the watch along. I'm saying, do him, just do him. And once he's done him, then you look at Anthony and you say, do him, and you think, oh shit, he's not going to do him. So at the moment, this is what I want. I want to see him do him. You know what I mean? So yeah, he at the moment, Rashford just.
So
unfortunately, you're so right, Mr. B. Sorry, Pat. I've got to say, Godfrey must have felt like he was sending out an SOS signal. He got stopped and started so much. It was like SOS. It was like guy must be. So he must have been so happy when they dragged you.
And strangely enough, I was just going to relate to what Mark was saying there. With Godfrey had started the game so tough, aggressive, trying to get stuck into Manchester United players. Coleman, he's not really an aggressive player. He's a good captain. He's always trying to help out. He's trying to break up the fights. But unfortunately for Seamus Coleman, after the goal went in, what did Manchester United do to improve the cold sweats he's going to be having tonight? They brought on Garnacho to make his life even worse down that left-hand side. So I'd like to get everybody's opinion on that in the comments. Amonde, can we hit the comments one last time, please?
Yeah, mostly. I just want to say as well regarding Rashford thing. That's what I call taking a man out for Chinese. He took Seamus Coleman out for Chinese. Chop, and think. That's what I love to see. I mean, that's like Mr. B's getting so excited. That's the Rashford we want to see. Take him out for Chinese, give him a number 3, and send him back. And the one thing as well, I love those passes across 6-yard box. It's called the corridor of uncertainty. As a centre back, you don't want those balls coming there. But that's how you score on goals. And we need to do more of that as well. I agree with what Mark was saying earlier about Anthony going at people. Because Anthony was doing a lot of skills, pop, but really going nowhere. Wasn't really moving, not getting progressing in a way. And I'm not dissing Anthony. I do like him as a player. Anyway, let's go for some comments here. Obviously, we're talking about Malacia. There was a lot of chat about Malacia earlier. So Marcus Rashford, 7 goals. This is from MUFC. Big up to MUFC. 7 goals in his last 7 home games. That's fantastic. Yeah. Big up. And Chris is even saying the Rash is back. He's not talking about his play. He's talking about his medical condition. Paddy's saying Malacia has to step up. Chris is saying maybe we should go to 3-5-2. We did go to 3-5-2 when they put on their wingers as wing backs to sort of push them back. We've got 3 in the defence. That was good. Malacia was okay, says Zoe Media House. Paddy saying play short centre back against City and Arsenal. Is asking the question. Chris is saying Malacia is good. Did better than Shaw early season. Oh yeah, but now Shaw is rolling. That's what I was referring to. There's a good comment there from Chris. Malacia will come good. He's potentially a good future left back. So he agrees with CALLULA there. MUFC. Malacia is decent. Was decent. Says Rushmano. Big up to Rushmano, man. Where have you been? Casemiro better and better. That's from Chris Moss. Paddy here saying Malacia has potential. Positive comment here. The rest of them, including Shaw, is not the man.
I went like that and then.
Paul Tierney saying, this is a good one for you guys. Paul Tierney's asking, would you take Unana at United? Impressed me. Belgium international, I believe. Rushmano again saying Malacia has improved. Sure, massively. That's what competition does. So yeah, that was put on Tellers last year. They were saying that improved his form. Rebel saying here, what are the panel's thoughts on Anthony's passing? Seems to me like the ideas are there, but just didn't get the way to pass right. And a couple more here. So before we finish, Rushmano is saying poor old Coleman, not have a clue what happened. Paul Tini saying really want Marshall to score, hard luck with missed chances. And Everton OG highlighted more need for striker despite the luck. And finally, Rebel here saying Shemi or Seamus Coleman, he's talking about, don't know how you pronounce that, Shemi or whatever he's saying. Shamey, sorry, forgive me. Saying Shamey has had better days of his career behind him, was an outstanding win back in his day. Time at the top tier in football rapidly coming close for him. Great servant to Ireland as well. Just a couple more, so I've flying in at the moment. Anthony needs to be more confident with his right foot, assuming he has one, says Rushmano. Good question. Good comment there. Sorry. Paul Tini is saying, my fellow Irishman had a good game up until being left at a roundabout. And regarding Garnacho picked up to, if Sancho does not suck, would you guys have seen Garnacho this season? All right, so basically, if Sancho hadn't been out for this period of time, would Garnacho have been playing as much as he has?
Healthy competition once again.
Yeah, there you go.
So guys, 24 in the chat. Give us a like and a subscribe, please. Much appreciated. And just to get CALLULA a little bit more riled up before we wrap it up tonight, I'd like to have a chat about David De Gea's Manuel Neuer moment in the 75th minute, I think he was. What on earth was he doing? Because you blew up the group chat as soon as it happened for about the 10th time. And I didn't know whether it was David De Gea, was it nerves? It was just a load of letters and a load of numbers and a load of emojis giving out stink.
It's called a heart attack, because I'm looking and I'm thinking, what are you doing? What am I watching? Why? What is going on? Is everything okay at home, De Gea? Like, what? Come on, De Gea, what is going on? After the first half, and then you went, oh, I'm already calling you from Bellina. I wish I was at the game so you could hear me. I wanted to be at the back of that and go, De Gea, man, you need to get this sorted, because the locks are getting changed, man. You know, because I couldn't believe it. It was disbelief and a heart attack. De Gea has been there for so long. I'm a really big De Gea fan. And it's the first time I looked and went, you're going to kill me? You're going to kill me? If you carry on this, you're going to kill me? No, that was it for me. Disbelief.
Mark?
What do I think of David De Gea's second brain fade? I haven't got what I panicked. It added to the excitement. It added to, like, the game was pretty open considering Everton, you know, like played such a defensive lineup and had a deep block, you know. But yeah, it was just he had a game to forget. You know, he really did. He made a great save with his feet later on, which sort of helped the classic, which I thought was the only real one genuine opportunity Everton had at goal, and he sorted that out. If it wasn't for the craziness at the other moments, it would have been a great game. But yeah, like, oh man, it was not good. Like, David, you're the man. I back you. Like, you've been such a great servant of the club. Let's just put this one in the rearview mirror as soon as possible.
So I'm going to touch on the penalty where Godfrey Godfrey forgot that he was about 8 stone heavier than poor little Garnacho and thought that resting his arm on his back at about 30 miles an hour wasn't going to push the young lad over, which ended up in a penalty for us, which was happy days to see out the game. Mr. B, what did you think of Pickford staring down our boy Marcus Rashford, trying to be Martinez in the World Cup, stepping up for the penalty?
Pickford's a dick. Yeah, he stood up there and he tried to get in. That penalty, those are the penalties that I like. Because Rashford waited. He took no notice of what Pickford did. He waited. As soon as Pickford went, Rashford just passed the ball in the other side. It was never a thing where Pickford was going to dive to that side. If he had gone that way, Rashford would have gone the other way. So I think these players are now learning how to take. All right, if Pickford had saved it, we would have said, oh, what a shit penalty. You know, and maybe if the goalie goes left and then right and then left, you know, to throw them off a little bit. But no, perfectly executed penalty. Absolutely perfectly executed penalty.
It was an absolute smasher of a penalty now, I must say. So, Monday, look, we're going to wrap it up now shortly. Would you like to hit a few comments before we do?
Yeah, most certainly. So we've got a couple here from Rebel. Rebel saying here, the incident with David De Gea has had a twister. Matt put in front of him in a catastrophe. So this is on a meme, basically what he's saying here. They've already started with the memes. There's a twister board in front of him, while the ball goes through his legs. And the meme game is strong on Twitter. So poor Man United players, if you make a mistake, you're going to be put out of there. Rebel, send me that, please, on my WhatsApp.
and me, Rebel. Send it to me too.
I want to big up Gerard. Is it Gerard or
Gerard? It's my brother.
Gerard. Naturally, his surname is Lawless, which I didn't think. I thought that was a fake name. I thought it was just a fake name. It's actually a real name because Pat. Is this your dad?
Brother.
Your brother. Salute, man. Thanks for tuning in. Saying great show tonight, and your brother's doing really well hosting, by the way. And also, I want to say hi to Rashford. 102 over. So he's saying here, Rashford. And I think there's a gap, and then he's saying abyss, like huge gap between him, maybe and Mbappe. That's what I'm trying to pick up here. Face blue, smiling, face blue, smiling. So I think he's trying to say Rashford has
off the pace to Mbappe.
Rashford is clear of Mbappe.
Oh.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
I'm going to take it that Rashford's better than Mbappe for tonight only.
Yeah, clear of it.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So Rebel saying here, I was hoping Rashford would do a Penenka, sorry. That was a Czechoslovakian in the 1976 European Championship final. That's where it came from. Rushmano saying, the Gea looked dodgy tonight. Maybe it's a lower wage. But can I say something? Can I say something to the Gea thing? All right, granted, we wanted him to come out. We wanted him to come off his line. There was always criticism of him. He stays on his line. We wanted him to sort of play with his feet a bit more. And he tried that today. It's a bit of a calamity. It looks really bad. But yeah, I would like to see people trying to do things. I was giving him praise the other day, saying his distribution is proven slightly. And he just needs to keep working at it because he has to force it. It's not, like we say, it's not natural to him. And I think when we see there's another meme going around right now about the incident where he went through his legs, he couldn't get his feet right. He's like one of these guys that can't dance two left feet. And I'd like to do the candy dance at the next Christmas do.
So, guys, I've really enjoyed myself. My first time hosting. I hope I've done you proud. So, we're going to wrap it up now. Thanks very much for tonight. Well, it's only been a year in the making since Mr. B brought me onto the takeaway for the first time. So there was no way that man could not be on this show with me tonight.
Bless you, man.
So, guys, have you any final words? And I'm going to start with a Monday and work the way to Mr. B, to Mark, and then to CALLULA. Yeah,
look, it's been a great start to the new year for both the channel and for Man United Football Club. I want you to go to Mr. B next. I'm going to pass it on to him. Mr. B has been inspiring me with his speeches.
No, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to.
Mr. Churchill, eat your heart out. I know you saw on the show. If you go to watch the show yesterday with Jay, you sort of hinted at it as well. So the big whisper at the moment around the club, around the Man United agenda, we're not supposed to talk about. There's a big elephant in the room, which Mr. B's created, gave birth to.
Father and son, is it?
Yeah. So let's keep going, guys. Let's get behind the team and get behind the manager as well. And make sure you tune into the Man United agenda. And appreciate everyone who came into the comments today.
Mr. B.
I was gonna sing. I've got a song in my head, but if I sing it, it's not even gonna sound anything like it's supposed to sound. So I'm just gonna say, I've got a feeling. Woohoo!
I take it tonight's gonna be a good night. Yeah,
that's the
one. Mr. Redmond, thank you very much for getting there your pit at 6 o'clock in the morning, not only to watch the game, but to also come on the show, brother.
Wow. First off, what a great performance. First up, man of the match up top there, Paddy. Great hosting. Yeah. Second off, Mr. B, I hope you're not referring to the 21, which we shall not ever speak of, because, mate, you've been eating too much broccoli. You're getting gas. No, don't go there, my friend. Don't go there. I wanted to say, for me, the game, to wrap it up, Marcus Rashford, first ever goal against Everton, goal number 106 for Manchester United. The man is a Ferrari. He is one of the best strikers in the world right now. He's on form. He's not the best black player ever. Pele is. But Pele is dead. Pele is dead. R.I.P. the GOAT. Pele is dead. So, Marcus, there's a spot at the table, mate. You go and get it. Like
You've only a couple of World Cups to get and a couple of Ballon d'Ors, but you're close. You're close.
Just smash it out of the park. Look, Marcus, I love Marcus Rashford, like I do. I'm a big fan. You know, I stuck through him through thick and thin. And look, yeah, great show, guys. If you want to see me say some more stupid stuff, get your pen ready because you're going to need it. This is like the War and Peace of Twitter handles. It's Graham 860-23987. There's phone numbers in the world that are shorter than that. I don't know what that will do to me, but yeah, that's where you can get me when I'm not here at the best football show on the web.
And last but not least, the number one lady of the Man United agenda, CALLULA.
Well, what I'll say, guys, watch this space. We're going to have a lot come in here, some revolutionary ideas, and we're going to go for it. And I'm not going anywhere. I will say I'm not going to turn around and say that we played the best tonight. We need improvements, but this is an opportunity for silverware because it'd be absolutely magnificent if we can get in the Champions League, get the silverware, get it done, and that is what I want. We've got the opportunity, but we need to take it. And that's why I am CALLULA Cal, because I'm harsh beans, because I know that is all we've got at the moment. We've got our chance, and how beautiful would it be for Tag to do that in such a short time? He's the best manager we've got. We've got to stick with him no matter what. And sorry, Lampard. See you later. I guess Lampard. I don't know where he's going. See you at the DWP.
Well done, CALLULA. Never change, and we love your honesty. But listen, guys, thanks very much for tonight. I'm out having a great time. Manchester United are on the up. The agenda's on the up. Give us a like and a share and a subscribe, and we'll see you the next time. Good night.